There are so many men and women that have served our country and have become heroes, and there are so many that have called Michigan home. And we are here at the Michigan Heroes Museum in Frankenmuth, and John, the executive director, is here with us to kind of tell us the stories behind a lot of the heroes that are right here in their museum. Hi, John.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
So we've got over 900 stories that we rotate through the museum. At any given time, we have 150 to 170 stories out, depending on how we have them displayed. And as people go through the museum, they can kind of self-guide themselves, or we can do large tours and whatever is best for making it a personal experience for them.
Awesome. Well, for those who aren't familiar with the museum, you guys are celebrating 48 years this year. How does that feel?
Right, it's amazing. And that's the reason why we have so many collections and everything. We develop a really good relationship with the veterans themselves and with their families, and it's truly a special place. It's our goal is to honor and respect and remember all of our veterans from the United States, but is focusing on those from Michigan, and by telling the stories of a few, you can tell the stories of a whole lot more, because if you tell about one quartermaster, you know what they all, not what they all did, but you can extrapolate from there. So.
Right. Well, when did the museum come about, and how did it get all started?
So back in 1976, they applied for the license and everything for it, but well before that, at the end of World War II, there was a group of young men down in Detroit, some brothers, that would go around with their wagon and a lot of curiosity, right? And when moms and wives were throwing out the servicemen and women's things, right? Their uniforms, their all the extra stuff, the duffel bags full of stuff. These guys were taking their wagon around and they were loading it up with that stuff so they could go home and play war, right? And eventually, the oldest brother, Stan Bozich, he ended up, by the time he was 15 years old, he said one of these days they're going to have a museum. So he started going back to those homes afterwards, and he'd meet with the veterans, whether they were a sailor or an airman or a Marine, and he would talk to them, get their stories, and start taking notes.
Oh my gosh. Now, when did you become involved, John?
I started just over 10 years ago now with the museum, and it has been an amazing place to be, and it's just so impactful for so many people. Not only do we tell the histories, but for so many people, this place is almost like a chapel, right? It's a place for them to learn, a place for others to heal, a place for them to come together and understand what service to our country is all about.
All right, John. Well, thank you. Well, can we get a little tour and check out some of these stories?
Absolutely.